Hello everyone, welcome to my show Camera Tuesday. And today's topic is point and shoot camera in the future. So, why do we have point and shoot camera when we have DSLR, mirrorless, and hybrid cameras? You have to understand this. Idea of point and shoot camera is very simple. It's a multi-purpose tool and it operates in much wider range. Like if you buy a DSLR, for instance, even a simple basic DSLR, you can only get a lens that will barely give you 3x of operational range. If you want 10x zoom lenses for DSLR, they are quite expensive and heavy. So a point and shoot camera generally can operate in much larger areas. So for that reason we are quite gravitating towards it, and it's cheap. Like at the end of the day, like nobody is gonna buy a camera that they cannot afford. So cost plays a very significant role. So there is a cost, there is the fact that it's a multi-purpose tool. It's not great at anything, but it can take care of many things at once, and it operates in much wider range. So there are many categories of these sort of cameras, and some of the successful categories I want to bring in front of you. One we have is waterproof and rugged camera. Now, many mobile cameras do come with the fact that you can submerge them, but suffice to say, they do not guarantee you on that. And if water seeps into it, which you cannot see, it's gonna corrupt the system. In this scenario, where you can buy, waterproof and rugged camera, you don't have to worry about that. And even if water seeps in, all you're gonna lose is your photos, and that's also not gonna most likely gonna happen because memory card can survive being submerged. So and camera mobiles that can handle that are waterproof are surprisingly expensive. And not to mention, if you lose your mobile phone, you'll not only lose photographs, you lose almost everything. So you cannot risk losing your mobile phone. However, you can risk losing a point and shoot camera. And even if, let's say, your camera breaks, all you have to do is remove the SD card, and in most scenario it will work. So let's say you go to water park a lot and it's kind of hot environment where you live, or you go for swimming and all that, it's the best for that. And it's great for kids. Like if you want to give kids something, like you want to get them started in photography, this sort of camera is quite good. Not only because it can handle water, but it also is far more resistant to drop damage than any other system, including mobile phones. So when you have this, you have a bit of peace of mind. And you might say, okay, I can teach my kids with photography with mobile phone, but nobody takes mobile phone seriously. Like there is a psychological barrier to it. Like even if your mobile camera has better photographic quality, nobody takes seriously. Like if you put somewhere, can I take your photo from mobile versus can I take your photo with a camera, there is a night and day difference. It's a psychological difference, and sometimes they do have better cameras. So waterproof and rugged cameras are not going anywhere, and we're gonna be seeing them for a while. Then we come to the most fun camera in the series, that's ultra zoom camera. Basically any camera that exceeds 20x zoom. Now the X I'm saying here is very simple, is the lowest number of millimeter, like let's say 50 millimeter versus the biggest millimeter number, let's say 500 millimeter. That way you divide that and you get the X value. So it's a very fun camera to use. Like there is an inherent fun to it. Like you go in outdoor trip and all that, and you can just zoom in to see into things. It's fun. Like there is no equivalent of it. And you might say, okay, I can get a telephoto lens in DSLR. No, nothing that can even compete with these things. Nothing. Like flat out, the lenses you need is like 1400, and this is Nikon Coolpix P1000. It goes to pardon me, 3000 millimeter. Yeah, there is no DSLR lens that can go that far. Of course the quality is not like telescope grade quality, however, but it's fun. Like if you see how there is an older version of this P900, you can zoom into the moon itself, and it's surprisingly large amount of fun. And it's very good for zoo. Like people have this old idea, oh, just get a prime lens and walk close to, are you gonna walk close to a freaking tiger or lion? So for wildlife, this serves a very unique and interesting function. It's very, very fun to use. Like you have to use it once and you'll be like, you will not go back, suffice to say. Then we come up to star of the show, the prosumer cameras. Now prosumer cameras is like becoming a big and bigger thing, because a lot of sensor technology has progressed. And allowed us to do is very simple. It's like now, instead of having very tiny sensor that is more or less same size as mobile cameras, we put 1-inch sensor, sometimes full APS-C sensor or even full frame sensor into a point and shoot body. Like these things that I'm saying, this and this has 1-inch sensor, this has APS-C sensor. So getting a bigger sensor directly improves your image quality, provided if you have the same lens quality. Like unless you put shitty lens in big sensor versus a very great lens in a small sensor, they counteract it. So I'm assuming the lens is the same. So they're very good, close, if not better than DSLR. The reason for that is simply your DSLR you're not going to carry everywhere. So the portability of these things helps a lot. Like there is no point of, oh, I have Canon 5D in my home. It's in your home, not with you. So for this reason, the portability aspect, it's playing a very crucial role nowadays. This is Sony RX 100 Mark 6, and they give full manual control. Like this is very crucial for any student or anybody who wants to learn photography. Like point and shoot camera have every single function as DSLR has. It's just they don't allow you to control it. You cannot set the shutter speed, you cannot set the aperture, you cannot set the basically almost every camera in older days it was flat out useless, because like flat out only thing they give you is auto mode, and everything else was like they will only let you control one aspect. They will not let you control all the at least 3 aspects of the photography at the same time. So these cameras from day one, they were focusing on giving you a professional experience. So they have full manual control, large sensors, and generally they also come with better lenses. Now what I mean by better lenses, generally you will get a brighter lens, as in they will have better f-stop, and sometimes they will have good optics, as in like low chromatic aberration, things like that. So prosumer cameras are becoming more and more popular, and I think we're gonna see them a lot in upcoming future. So what does the future hold of it? As you can see in the title, is camera for 2020. So I think right now the biggest hurdle for many people to jumping into camera is that their touchscreen integration is kind of pointless, like bad. I'm using Canon 800D, which is kind of good, but let's just say it leaves a lot to be desired. Second, full manual control in point and shoot cameras are still a far-flung dream. Like they can do it, it's just a software function, but they are not doing it because they want to sell their higher end camera for some reason. And wireless integration, this really needs to improve. Otherwise I don't think point and shoot camera will last very long. Like as you can see, this Coolpix W300 has Wi-Fi, GPS and Bluetooth. However, we are at a stage where we can put SIM card into this and have a 4G data for that. Now you might be like, why would you want to do that? Imagine this, like you are using this camera, you take your photos while you are charging the camera. Like some of these cameras can be charged while you are plugging it like normally. You don't have to like take the battery or put it in a battery cradle. So while you plug in, it activates the 4G, uploads all your photo to whatever you say, Google Drive or wherever you think, and you get an instant backup whenever you are charging. So suffice to say, the wireless integration needs to be better. And even right now, Nikon's Wi-Fi app is like, let's just say it's very frustrating to deal with. And raw editing on camera should be possible now. Like right now as we speak, camera processors have enough processing power that they can handle an app. Now for instance, your Android phone now can handle it, which sometimes even a cheap Android phone can handle. I don't expect it to be like full in-depth as in-depth you can go in Lightroom, but exposure, white balance and basic things should be feasible to do. And better battery, like everything is meaningless if your battery is shit. Now to Sony's credit, they are listening to their customer. This is like Sony A7 Mark II battery, and that is Mark III battery. So they are learning that people need big battery. There is no point of having a like epic camera which battery runs out every few minutes. So this is my prediction of the future. Hopefully camera manufacturers will provide us with good products. And this is my presentation on point and shoot camera. I hope you liked it or learned from it. In that case, please like. If you didn't, no worry, you can dislike it and leave a comment what would you want to see in Camera Tuesday, and subscribe, press the bell icon as I make video every day. And as always, thanks for watching.